Reddit relationships. Caught my wife sexting. I had to make a throwaway for this. I was married to my wife for 5 years, and we started dating in high school. This was a healthy relationship for the majority of the marriage. Our communication was good, and we never fought until the end. We lived in New York, but often traveled to our hometown in New Jersey to visit our families and friends. With the path trains that go across state lines, this actually wasn't a big deal. One night, we went out to eat in New York City, and we came across one of our old friends from school. We were not best friends, but we definitely talked to him. The encounter was positive, and we traded numbers. We met up with him a few more times, and he brought his girlfriend with him. At the time, I thought it was nice that we were doing things as a couple. With his girlfriend there, I didn't feel threatened at first. After meeting up for the third time, I noticed my wife was sort of flirting with him. I didn't expect this at all, so I was thinking maybe she was trying to be funny, but I wasn't sure. I asked her about it, and she said I was being overprotective and that her comments were harmless. The last time we went out, I saw more flirting, and despite what she said, I started to believe there was something going on. A couple of weeks later, I was making lunch, and she left her phone on the counter while she was in the bathroom. She got a text from the guy, which I wasn't expecting because he always texted me to make plans. I opened the text and was in shock. He sent a video of him squeezing out lube on himself. I even found his sex tape when I checked the older messages. She was being intimate with him, and he was moaning loudly. When my wife came back, the fireworks started. It was a shouting match for the ages. After we calmed down a bit, she said that she thought he was a better man than me, and she needed someone strong. She told me that I can't satisfy her like he can, and that he's much tougher. I left for the day and filed for divorce soon after. Thankfully, we didn't have any kids, so the divorce wasn't too difficult. We spent money on lawyers, but the process went smoother than I expected it to. I got to keep the house while making a few sacrifices. I haven't found a girlfriend, and it makes me so angry that I wasn't good enough for her. I don't know the specifics since this part of the conversation didn't last long. I also don't know if I should believe her. This was hell for me, so I wanted to share to get some feedback. Thanks. My wife had an emotional affair. Hey folks, I've been lurking here for some time looking for advice and following stories to see how they develop. Well, decided to share my own, hoping someone who is in similar shoes can pick up on things I kept my eyes closed to. My story definitely pales compared to some other poor souls here. We don't have kids, just a dog and a vehicle together. I, 30 male, have been married to my wife. She's 23. For almost 3 years. It's been mostly great with some downs. We've traveled extensively and made so many great memories. My wife was working at a coffee shop before the pandemic, and she met her AP there about 1.5 years ago. He was a customer, and from what I've unearthed, I don't have tangible reasons to believe anything serious was going on back then. Probably some flirting. I guess this seems serious now. They did exchange social media, Instagram, and kept minimal contact, probably texting once every couple of months. I had no reason to suspect anything at this point. I should mention that we were on the road traveling with the idea to move to a different state. They didn't have physical contact. Fast forward to mid-February, they are texting more often, and he gives her his phone number, saying he's there if she needs to talk. Seems like this is when the emotional affair began, as she took him up on the offer and saved his number under a false name of a girl coworker I knew. In the next couple of days, the texting intensifies and things are off between us. She seems extremely sour. It didn't make sense why. On 2 occasions, I'm being lied to that she's calling her parent and goes away for an hour. I got suspicious as she usually doesn't have a reason to leave my presence to talk to them. I pull up the call history from our shared phone bill, and the number didn't match. That's when I decided to go through her phone and discovered the Instagram messages and everything thereafter. I was in complete shock took some screenshots, and confronted her in the morning. Mind you, we signed a year-long lease right before this whole thing came out. For the next few days, I do the pick-me dance and was met with a whole lot of gaslighting. How bad she's been feeling and how I wasn't really there for her. None of that excuses emotional cheating, and I knew that back then. When I try to set some basic boundaries, she pushes back. It was so hard to let go of her. So naturally, I was looking for options to keep her and fight for our marriage. After all, it's not like they've slept. I recognized some of my shortcomings and decided that I can work on myself and support her more. We moved into the apartment and spent thousands on furniture. All the while, I couldn't trust her. I kept demanding to check her phone, and for the next 2 weeks, I found on 5 to 6 occasions that she's either unblocked him or she's used WhatsApp so that she doesn't leave a trace on the phone bill. We go through those episodes every 3 days, and after every time, I'm more broken. At one point, I spent a whole day in bed without eating at all. She keeps convincing me we can heal. Stupid me. At one point, after we've made up again, she tells me that she doesn't see us being together forever. Thanks for the honesty. But why do you keep wasting my time then? I guess a little more story wouldn't hurt, and if someone made it that far, they deserve to get the dessert. I was supposed to go to a meeting one day and left the house. Checking my phone, the meeting's been canceled, so I head back. I was gone for 15 minutes, but I had a hunch that I have to check the phone again. She's unblocked and texted him. At this point, I'm ready to call it quits. I'm hanging in the house for the next 2 days because I got nowhere else to go. Was a wreck, and obviously she felt bad about me. On the second day of me sleeping on the couch, she comes in the morning with proof she finally made some kind of effort without me asking her. She's texted him that she can't handle the shame and guilt, and he shouldn't be texting her anymore. She shows me that, and we make up again. She deleted the WhatsApp again, and for the next 2 days, it was a real sense of normalcy, and I got what I actually needed. She put some effort into this. Well, on the third day, I decided to walk the dog, but was also paranoid. I put WhatsApp on my phone and stalk her online status. I'm not even 5 minutes out of the house, and she's on. And that was it, folks. I slept in my van that night. We spoke in the morning. I didn't get any sensible answers. She finally said she had feelings for him. I put my essentials in the van and left her. She begged me to go back, but now it's been 4 days and I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm really lonely and have been crying sporadically. I had a weak moment today and contacted her. It was so stupid. Now the wound is fresh again. I'm divorcing her, but don't want to get lawyers involved for financial reasons. I've been on Chump Lady, and that's a great resource. I'm having trouble sleeping and eating regularly, but I work out and stay hydrated. I hope to feel better soon. This shit sucks. Thanks for reading. I just had to get it off my chest. Peace and good luck, people. Take care of yourselves. Nobody else will. Girlfriend of 2 years cheated on me. First time using this subreddit, but I'll try to keep this relatively concise. My girlfriend and I met in graduate school and spent the first year or so of our relationship living near to or with each other. Last summer, my girlfriend started a doctoral program about 1,000 miles away while I finished my last semester in the master's program we met at. We've been long distance since then, and given the pandemic, we obviously haven't seen each other in person much at all in the past 9 months. The relationship was not perfect even prior to the cheating, but she had made it clear to me that she was interested in marriage and had never given any real indication that she wanted out of the relationship. My girlfriend was a bit possessive of me, so I didn't spend much time around other women for the duration of our relationship. She moved in with several men when she started her PhD program, which I was uncomfortable with, in part because I know she wouldn't have been okay with me doing the same. But I tried to give her a good faith read and never told her that I was not okay with her living situation. She drank with him regularly, which also made me uncomfortable, but I tried to resist the urge to be a jealous partner and just encouraged her to be careful. She'd been drinking a lot, often with her roommates over the last couple of months, and she finally ended up making out with one of them last weekend. She told me within 48 hours and seemed genuinely remorseful, and did tell me that she would do anything to try to make our relationship work. I told her my trust had been breached and I didn't think I could sustain a long-distance relationship without a high degree of trust, and broke up with her officially a day later. I agreed not to tell our mutual acquaintances about what happened. I'm trying really hard to end this amicably and not to act vindictively. I think that I made the right decision, but I'm struggling a lot with feelings of embarrassment, inadequacy, and of course a fair bit of grief. As far as I know, this is my first time being cheated on, and it sucks. Obviously, I'm worried about being alone moving forward, as I am in an age demographic where people are increasingly married or in committed relationships. Sorry for the novel-length explanation, but this is fresh to me and it's honestly a bit cathartic to get written down. What should I do to regain my confidence and put myself back together? Is it possible to maintain any kind of relationship with my former partner? How can I avoid letting this make me a jealous or possessive partner in the future? Girlfriend cheated with her ex. First of all, unlike some people here, I have not been in this relationship for long, only a little over a year, and this is the only relationship I've ever had really. So I realize I'm pretty inexperienced, and for the record, I am in the military. Just have to rant. A few months ago, in November, I helped my ex buy a car, since she had basically no credit history, and I took on the insurance payments. I know, I'm a moron. Fast forward to Christmas, and my ex and I head off to meet some of her family and mine halfway across the country for 2 weeks. The relationship has been unstable. We had fought a lot more than usual in December, but I didn't think anything was off, and I thought it was great for us to bond and know each other's family better. The whole time we were there, my ex would go take naps, and I thought nothing of it. She also insisted that she hadn't been to her friend's house in a while and wanted to go there the day we got back. I thought nothing of it. She told me she wanted to spend more time at sleepovers with friends almost every night for nearly all of January, and I didn't suspect a thing. Then she totaled her car, our car, and I raced back to see her after going out to grab her lunch and a coffee for her lunch break. I sat with her at the hospital, took care of her even as she treated me horribly and still fought with me. She even asked to take my car, mine alone, to stay with her friend, and I said yes. I went to the tow yard by myself to check out the wreck, remove plates and such. In the car, I found a pass for on base, signed by her ex, dated the day we came back from visiting our families. I had never felt so awful, worthless, betrayed. I called and told her I went to the tow yard by myself, and she began yelling at me that I should have brought her until I told her about the past. Then silence. I drive home and confronted her. We live together. Yes, I am a dumbass. And she dared to have the audacity to say she actually didn't have sex with him, which I called out as a lie, and she admitted she was lying and had been seeing him almost every night and had been messaging and sexting him since before Christmas. She took the gifts I got her, my family got her, and felt not the slightest remorse at the things she did. She confessed to everything. We still live together, and I am truly unhappy. Despite everything I think I have done to help her live a good life, military, so I have a semi-decent job, I clean and buy gifts and spend lots of time taking care of her and the pets, it's not enough. She confessed to me that her ex would often have sex with her while she was sleeping and would beg until she caved, and I told her she needs to report him, but she won't. I am certain she never will and will always love him and disregard everything he did because I'm worthless trash to her. I am truly unhappy. The only good thing coming is I have orders and I want to leave her behind, but I feel so trapped and so worthless. I wish I could give this story a happy ending, but as it stands, I am still stuck living in hell with this cheater, who I want to leave, but I feel like I can't, who still treats me like trash, but refuses to accept guilt, shows only selfishness, hoping things can get better, that I can work it up to leave and find something better. This concludes this Reddit relationships video.